Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another episode of Shoe Eating Monster! Ang, 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 ang. With me, Juliana, your favorite and probably only resident shoe eating monster out there right now. Welcome back, my friends. Just wanted to put here at the beginning of the episode because I keep forgetting to say this, but if you are listening to this episode, please hit the review and rate button. If you are watching on YouTube, please like the video, comment below if you can, and subscribe. It helps out the channel quite a lot, and we thank you. Meaning me. I thank you. The shoe eating monster. Why are we here today? Today, I would like to talk about why even make videos about being a shoe eating monster? Why even talk about being a shoe eating monster? And I think I have a few key points that I'd like to touch on. The first one being someone that has worked in the running shoe industry, not extensively, but long enough on the retail level where I've sold shoes. I've also seen people take back shoes and just how much money you put into a pair of shoes and how quickly some of them seem to disintegrate under your feet. And I've also been the victim of me working up a shoe in my head and then it not being quite as long lasting as I hope it would be, or getting a shoe that I really love, but it just like falls apart immediately. And I will say, generally speaking, I find that shoes now are a little bit more durable than when I started more or less marathon running back in like 2018. But that's, I would say, more the uppers. The bottom's not so much. The bottom's not so much. The purpose of that is that I am looking to get my money's worth out of shoes. I understand that shoes are an expensive endeavor to take on. They're something that are pricey to buy. If you go and you buy a proper pair of running shoes, it's probably going to cost you a minimum of like $140 if you buy them brand new. And that's not a cheap purchase. And for a lot of people, that's one of the purchases that really like sits on their heart for some reason. Really deeply. People put so much emotional baggage into buying running shoes. Like, it's wild sometimes. And like, as the person who has a tattoo of the running shoes she ran her first marathon in, I totally get it. I have an emotional connection with most of my shoes, which is why I also like naming them too. But as an outsider, it's very interesting to see how emotionally connected other people are to their shoes and in the buying process of their shoes as well too. So as your resident shoe eating monster who eats shoes for breakfast, I totally understand how much of a money, a time, and an emotional investment shoes are for people. And so I'm here more or less to test out some shoes. If I can get my hands on more shoes, that's great. If anyone knows any ways to get more shoes, right now I am just purchasing these shoes largely used or new, but on a used shoe site. So that way I'm not paying full price. I'm not a millionaire. Again, I totally get the financial side of things here. You know, the more shoes I can get on my hands, the more I can eat shoes and the more reviews I can do. But as of right now, that we're kind of limited to what I can buy myself. I want to try out these shoes to make sure that you guys who are watching and who are interested can have some kind of idea as to like, how long is this shoe going to last? Is this actually worth the money that I'm paying for it? Is this shoe going to be a good investment for me personally? And a lot of that is also understanding what you want to use the shoe for as well too. So is this going to be a hiking shoe that you take out like 3 or 4 times a year? Is this going to be your speed day shoe you take out once a week? Is it going to be your everyday trainer you take out every single time you go running? So you're going to want different levels of durability with each of those things. Generally speaking, your everyday shoes are going to want that higher level of durability. But I've just read so many running shoe reviews where they talk about the durability and it's just kind of fine. They either like mention it as a passing thought. They're like, oh, the shoe was durable. And I'm like, great. What does that mean? Or it's more or less just like, yeah, the tread looked okay. I'm like, okay, what about the foam? What about the other parts of the shoe that are part of it that make it a durable or a not durable shoe? Is the foam compressing and then not decompressing? Is the foam like shredding out? Like, what is happening with this shoe? So I'm going to be here as your local shoe eating monster to give you guys information as to what's going on with the shoe, where it's breaking down, and also if I think it's worth the money either. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing here on the Shoe Eating Monster side of RUNNAH. And I'm excited to be doing this because for me, this is a fun time. I have a nice time doing this, and I really love, one, being able to test out new shoes. It's something, especially in the colder winter months up here in New England, that kind of gets me out the door, adds that little extra dopamine hit that I need from the ADHD side of me. And it definitely is something that just makes things a little bit more fun. And also lets me see, like, okay, what shoes do I like? What shoes do I not like? What shoes would I recommend? What shoes would I not recommend? And that way I can bring that information back to you guys, and also just to my friends, mostly Ben. Ben takes a big brunt of that. So definitely stay tuned for more shoe reviews, more just reviews as to if I feel like the shoe is worth the money. And I think you guys are going to really like what we have coming up. So, or hopefully you, I don't know. If you have any shoes that you think that I should try and look for, I've been trying to buy shoes used as well too. So that way, one, I'm not paying full price for the shoe, and two, I can try out more shoes, and three, so I'm not contributing to like waste in our planet and on our planet. There's so much waste out there already. If I can save a shoe, which I'm calling the Second Chance Shoe Society, if I can add a shoe to the Second Chance Shoe Society, whether it be a shoe that is pretty much brand new, but being sold used because someone bought it and they can't use it or don't want to use it, or I'm buying like a lightly used shoe that otherwise would have gone into the trash or into recycling or just like never being used ever again. I'm happy to save these shoes from the shoe orphanage, I will say, and bring them into my meat factory. Hi. I may not bring them to the best home. They're appreciated. They're appreciated and loved, but in a very violent way. In a way that there's not much left of them when we're done. So, the Second Chance Shoe Society is not the Humane Society. Let's just say that. We'll leave it at that. I'm excited for you guys to maybe give me some suggestions as to shoes you think I should try out. If you do work for a shoe brand or you know someone who can get me set up with some more shoes, I'm happy to try out those shoes as well too. But for now, we're going to be a little bit limited to what I can find and what I can get my hands on. So hopefully that will be more shoes in the future. But I'm excited for this. Thank you guys all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you are here on YouTube. If you're listening to the podcast, don't forget to leave a 5-star rating or review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. That is really, really appreciated. And I will see you guys on the next episode of the Shoe Eating Monster. Did people want to see that? I don't know. Thank you for listening to this episode of RUNNAH. This podcast is edited, hosted, and produced by me, Juliana Coughlin. Brought to you in part by the Falmouth Running Club and the Falmouth Community TV station. If you'd like to connect with us, you can find us on Instagram and on TikTok at RUNNAHPod. And you can send us an email at runnahpod@gmail.com. And our original theme music was brought to you by the one and the only wonderful Jeffrey Hutton. And keep up the great work. I'm proud of you.